Hey everyone, in this video, we're going to be diving into n8n's newest feature, the n8n native tables, the killer of Google Sheets. Or is it? Okay, why do I say that? Because n8n native table is basically a built-in database inside of n8n, meaning you can fetch and query data inside your workflow without needing any credential, without needing any setup like any other database like Google Sheets, Supabase, and the other database. And by the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly what is the capabilities of this feature and how to use it. And you're going to see the application on some real workflows, and you're gonna see how fast it really is. So let's get straight to it. So if you see here now on my screen, you see my n8n homepage, and currently you have a new tab called Data Tables. If you don't have this on your n8n, you can just update it to the newest version, and it should have it because they just released it. Like a week ago, it's only on beta version, but now they have it on the stable version as well. And now let's create the tables itself. So if you go to Data Tables here, we click it. As you see, I already have some tables. And in order to create a new one, you just need to go to like right here on top, click the drop down, and here you would see Create Data Table. Just click on that. And then let's name the table into n8n native table tutorial. We create. And then once we create it, you would see that we have three default columns, which is the ID, the created at, and the updated at. And we can add more columns into it by just clicking this plus button right here. And you can enter the name, something like name or like email. But you need to enter it like without any space. So if you see here, I want to set full name. You cannot do that, but you need to do it with like, let's say an underscore full name, something like that. And you have a few types, which is still simple, but it's still good. We have the string type, which is basically any kind of ABC characters. We got numbers, we got booleans, which is just true and false, and then date time. And maybe for this one, I want to make, let's say, a customer data. So you would have the full name, which is a string. And then you would also have the email, which is also a string. And then you would have the age, which in here may be a number. Full name, email, age. And I think that is good for a simple customer table. And now I'm going to show you how are we going to use this table inside of our n8n workflows. And in order to do that, let's go to our home page and then let's create the workflow right here. And that will bring us to the editor canvas. And right here, let's say I have an n8n form where this would be a form of my customer data. So I would have here customer data. And then here would be the full name, email, which is a type of email, and then age, which is a type of number. Okay, execute that. For me, email, and then my age is 23. Submit it. Okay, now we have that. And then in order to use the n8n native tables, you would just click here and then just find data, and you'd have there data tables. And in here you would see it has 7 capabilities of 7 actions, which is it has delete, get, if row, insert row, and upsert or update. So it's basically a CRUD, CRUD, create, read, update, delete, and some validations. And in here we want to insert. So insert, we would have the n8n native table tutorial, the table that we just built, and then just drag and drop the field from the n8n form. Okay, now let's go and test it. So if we execute it again, let's fill out our names again. Submit, and then that's it. It's very fast. If you want to see the executions here, it only takes 42 milliseconds. Now let's compare it if that is a Google Sheet. Now let me make the Google Sheet right here for. Okay, now I have made it with the Google Sheet. It's gonna insert the same values, which is name, age, and email. And let's see how long it took. For comparison, the annotated native table only takes 42 milliseconds. So let's see this. Okay, let me fill it out for me. 23, submit it, and let's see, still executing. Okay, that's quite a while, and it took 2.7 seconds. That's a lot compared to the another native tables that only took like 42 milliseconds. So wow. So now I'm going to make another comparison in here where we would insert 500 items inside both the Google Sheet and also the another native tables. So let's just go ahead and do that. If you want to see the data here, it's the same data of customer, name, age, and email. And first, let's test it out with Google Sheets. So in here, you would see we would insert the same data. So let's execute it. And for Google Sheet, it takes 4008 milliseconds. That is 4 seconds for 500 items. And now let's see for the another native tables. And for the another native tables, it only took less than half a second, 466 milliseconds. That is very, very fast compared to the Google Sheets. So you see what I'm saying by it's killing Google Sheets, because yeah, that's how it does it. So this is why the annotated native tables are better than Google Sheet in this use case. Because one, you already see the speed of how the native tables compare to the Google Sheet, because it's instant. There are no API calls, and there are no rate limits. And also because the reliability, you're not being dependent on any third-party API like Google Sheets. And because it has a schema, the native tables also enforce the data types, where I don't think the Google Sheet does that. But of course, Google Sheets still won if your use case incorporates like the familiar UI of Google Sheets. Like let's say you want to output a data to your customer and your customers only understand the data of Google Sheets. So yeah. So this is why the annotated native tables are really a game changer. Because imagine your workflows that takes minutes, hours, just because the use of Google Sheets or other database where there's API calls and you implement rate limits with the looping nodes and the wait nodes. Now all of that are gone. You can replace that easily with the annotated native tables without having to set up credentials and all that other stuff. It just works. Imagine how much time you can save with this, how much resource you can save with this. But let's have a quick reality check. Currently, the native tables are still in beta, they're still very new, and they are not meant for huge datasets because they have a default cap of like 50 megabytes, which you can change in your default settings. But you also cannot really do any advanced queries like joins or views or all the advanced stuff. And the data types here are really simple. There are only a couple of them like string, number, boolean, and date times. And for the UI itself, it's still very limited. There are no search functionality. So for now, I think the native tables are like perfect for like small to medium data needs. And maybe not a full database replacement, at least not for now. So there you have it. The n8n native tables. It lets you store data, persist data across workflows in the same project. It can also store evaluation data for your AI workflows, and it runs much faster, much simpler compared to like Google Sheets. So if you're already on the latest n8n version, which I think minimum 1.13, then you can try it today. I would love to hear your use case and your plan of using these native tables. So if you don't mind, drop that in the comment and let's discuss about it. And if this tutorial helped, please make sure to click that subscribe button. And if you want ready-made workflows and professional help and to make automations that just work, then you can check out X Automation. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.